good morning. Ground by California here in Ventura. Well, we're gonna tackle part one of the gravel mob. Yes, we did do a video of Scissor, depending on how you pronounce it, earlier, but Sulphur Mountain is the first climb. It's about the same length and distance, about 9 miles, but about half the grade. So hopefully smiles on our faces. We began in the heart of Ventura, which is a great place to start or finish because of its local history, proximity to Amtrak, and the number of post-ride options around. It's hard to get lost connecting to the Ojai Valley bike path, but we did somehow, being rewarded with some fun things to look at along the way. The total length of the trail itself is a paved 14.9 miles, following the old track of the Southern Pacific, with a slight gain that's great for all levels of riding, ending up in downtown Ojai. It's a popular path, especially on the weekends, that gives you a taste of the region with views of wineries, parks, and oil derricks. 8 miles in, we rode behind the historic town of Casita Springs, which I wish we had a better glimpse of, but we did get a good look at one of the nicest features of the path, the bridge over San Antonio Creek, which you'll only ride if you've gone too far.
Well, sometimes the conversation just gets to you and you happen to ride 3 miles past. I would love it if we go another 3 miles past again and just keep ping-ponging.
At least coming back was downhill, and we didn't miss the turnoff this time.
Correct path attained. Adventure part 1.1 begins.
Use caution crossing Highway 33, as Sulphur Mountain Road starts off with flat pavement with a number of cars parked in front of the gate to the fire road. If you're going by Strava, you'll see the popular 8.74 mile segment highlighted, but that just reaches where you'll hit pavement temporarily. You get back onto gravel soon, where the exit gate is a mile further, followed by another kilometer of climbing on asphalt. Starting off gets you into small ring mode for the first time of the day, as the beginning twists its way through the oak trees as you head for the interior. On this side of the ridge, you'll have less coverage from the trees, but a lot more views of uninterrupted open space you wish had more access to gravel. The surface itself is pretty nice, but a warning about riding after the rains, as the road can get momentum stopping muddy even 4 days later, which I found out a few years ago. While this is cattle country, I'm still waiting to see my first steer on my 4th attempt up Sulphur. There's a couple of spots on the first half of the climb where the road shifts to the north side of the ridge, where the shade is welcome, but also the views across to Nordoff Ridge and Scissor Mountain. Flipping back at mile 6, if you didn't get an early start, this side may warm up fast, as this area is still affected by the 2018 Thomas Fire. The pitch fluctuates without you noticing much as the adrenaline starts to wear off and the fitness kicks in. Strava-wise, you see the pavement ahead, which signals the end of the segment. But you'll only be off of dirt briefly, as you'll have another kilometer of climbing, which is the steepest you'll do off-road. With a little downhill, maneuvering among homes slightly off the grid, you come up on the East Gate, which most importantly provides a little shade before continuing on. While you should be looking forward to some return on ascending investment, you do face your steepest climb of the day on Sulphur. But at least this last little piece of buzzkill is paved. A good sign anywhere that you're peaking is when you see a radar tower emitting far more watts than you could ever put out.
Alright, here comes the fun!
This leads into the 3 most fun miles of the ride, as descending Sulphur Mountain Road is such a thrill-seeking rush, you feel like you should pay admission.
Whoa!
This is definitely the most entertaining part of the day. So much so that you want to do it again, if you didn't have to climb.
Woo! Nick? Yes. How was the downhill?
The best.
Best ever?
Well, one of the best. Definitely one of the best.
Uh-huh. But definitely the best downhill you've done on my ride.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay, leave it at that. I'm
Done.
framing it.
done.
You want to say something? He was cussing the whole way down.
Sulphur Mountain Road puts you onto Highway 150, where we headed east to lead us to our loop towards Santa Paula. No one took the call to add the scissor climb to the agenda. Instead, refueling at the Stagecoach station was still another 25 miles to go. At least you can easily punch off the next 9 miles, as it's downhill on the highway without any of the technical action from before.
Icy! Careful! Howdy.
Even though you're whizzing by, you'll rubberneck over a few quirks, like the mission-era looking, but relatively recent Thomas Aquino College, oozing tar, and layers of agriculture rooted in days long ago. Coming through downtown Santa Paula harkens back to the oil era Victorian phase when people would drink your milkshake. There's a clear delineation where town ends and the field of farms begins, as you get some background why Santa Paula calls itself the citrus capital of the world. We return west along Foothill, which is a blend of flatness and a few rollers mixed in. But thanks to all the open space, the headwinds are going to be the biggest factor holding you back. As you wind your way back into Ventura, the grids of housing reappears, with some evidence of the Thomas fire still around. You know you're making your way into downtown proper, as the homes and plots takes the form of an earlier century scale, as coming up on City Hall signaled our end. Well, I think the consensus is it was a great ride, even though I decided to rock this Parisian look the whole way. It ended up being 55 miles, but it's under a half century if you could stay on course. Definitely if you are trying to figure out which is the easier of the two between Sulphur and Sulphur, this is the one. Anyways, thanks for following. Please subscribe somewhere up here, and we'll be bringing you more from the State of Dirt. Out. Hey, did you guys rehearse your lines before this video?
I got the script, yeah.
Okay. Just be really emphasize how handsome I am. Hopefully, smiles on our faces. I wrote that.